mercy on me. Lord, I got to keep on moving. They're coming after me. Lord, I got to keep on grooving. Lord, they're coming after me. Well, I'm feeling dumb as hell. What do we got here? No, I really do not want to become famous or to buy followers or what have you there. That seems like the last fucking thing in the world that I want to do. Christ, just dealing with the fans that I have. Like I had to do a show last night, like a pounding fucking headache, just because I would have felt bad to leave people behind. Ooh, oh. All right, hold on. Let me make sure I did all this right. Yeah, it looks about right to me. Well, it's the last day of the month. I hope everyone's Christmas is going well. Happy dog shit day. Oh, there you are, Logic. I was looking at your Aloha, and it was about the same time yesterday. So, yeah, this is going to be one of those relatively quiet streams, and I'm going to have to work on rewriting tomorrow. There's a decent chance that I will not be able to stream because I might be in Amish country. Just ate, I didn't sleep, so I'm 100% going to be passing out before we get in. LOL, yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, I got into like a rough space where I had to drink a bunch of beers to power through LRH because my head was fucking killing me. And then that did deal with the issue, but then I woke up this morning like slightly hungover because I powered through a bunch of beers to get through LRH. It was a good show though. I don't know, I can't remember if you were watching. I think you were watching. But the woman, Yasmin, that we talk with, she sent me a text this morning trying to find out when my birthday was. And I'll try to let her down easy. I'm very happy with who I'm seeing at the moment. All right, so let's think about what we figured out yesterday. And we're going to start to slowly work on this. I would estimate it's going to take 4 or 5 days to fix this chapter based on what we've been doing so far. So 1.11 is the worst chapter so far. One of the suggestions is to make it Stirs' point of view. Stirs hasn't gotten his own POV chapter yet, and in fact he may not get one throughout the book. Should send her a fruit basket and so forth. I gotta tell you, like as nice as the idea of sending somebody a fruit basket is, and you have to like put yourself in her shoes, which is like, oh, I didn't give my address to these fucking people, but somehow they found out where I live and they're sending me stuff right now. Are they gonna come and visit me at some point? It's just like while well intentioned, while like that's obviously well intentioned. You have to like look at it from her perspective. And I know because like somebody sent me a fruit basket when I got hit by the car, and it didn't come with a fucking card, and so immediately I'm like, oh god, which ex has been like spying on me and knows that this is going on, and I just had to run through like, and you send the embarrassing, did you send this? Did you send this? Did you send this to like a bunch of different people, and it just adds like stress into your life. So. As much as I would like to, in some way, commend her or whatever, because she did brilliant radio for us. Um, I think like any contact with this person would probably come off in like a negative way. So, and she was just very obviously like very nice and very sincere, and very big on Jesus. So that's like one of the things that I keep in there is like if somebody calls up and they're like genuinely nice, I don't want to do damage to their life. Like I think that they're interesting, and I'm glad we had a chance to talk with them. But Lord have mercy, I don't want to bother that sweet lady. Um, but yeah, because it was fucking weird. Like, and I wasn't eating fruit at the time, so it's like this big basket of fruit. And I'm on like a diet where I can't eat fruit, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? And at the same time, I was touched that somebody like wanted me to feel better, but fruit wasn't. I'll tell you another thing. Is that on Valentine's Day this year, I sent. I've been broken up with this girl for like 6 months or something like that, and I started to think like like who was gonna send her like flowers or something like that on Valentine's Day, and I knew she would not have hooked up with another guy in the interval, and indeed she had not. So I sent some flowers, and they sank like a fucking lead balloon. Right? She was like, well, thank you for the flowers, but as you know, I don't believe in the commercialism of Valentine's Day. I'll just think of these as Happy Anna Howard Shaw Day. It's like this famous feminist that I believe her birthday was that day. And I was like, yes, indeed, a Happy Anna Howard Shaw Day. Um, oh, yeah, that was a wonderful woman, too, the one that I sent those flowers to. I really do want absolutely the best for her. Hopefully she's found like somebody else at this point. But just and they were nice flowers, too. They were from like a fancy florist. And it was just like really wanted her to know that somebody like cared about her on that day and that she had worth, and I thought that she was just a spectacular person, but but that shit did not work out at all. And of course, like anytime you send somebody like a gift or something like that, you can be motivated by like, oh, concern and so forth. But at the back of your mind, that's maybe she'll fall in love with me again. That whole annoying thing. And like I think both of us knew that wasn't happening. So it was just dumb of me to do. But I tried. God. Yeah, I feel bad about that one right there. But at the same time, she kind of set herself up for it in a way. Whoa. Yeah, that was one where I would have liked to remain friends with that person, and it was just not happening. The COVID kind of made her a little crazy, as it did me. I mean, I was like going through whole months where I couldn't sleep and so forth, trying to take fucking niacin and like sniffing my armpit every 2 seconds to see if I lost my sense of smell. I can't sling stones or whatever. Oh, and then the girl that I got with, like right after her, it was definitely not a good idea. Oh, that one. At least I had the good sense to end that after like a month. That next one, and then, Jesus, what a saga it's been this year. Yeah, I've always been like very fortunate in terms of lucky that women will put up with my horse shit. Really, like if they had any sense, I would never get laid at all. But fortunately, nobody in that equation has any fucking sense. Wish I was a days person. It would be so much easier. Well, you just got to wake up every day to fucking yeah. It really. I wonder how long it took because I used to be a night person, 100%. Um, and it was really just writing that like transitioned me over, like the promise of coffee every single day. I think you have to be addicted to coffee to be a day person, really and truly. I think there's no other way. All right, so let's think a little bit more. I did not put enough thinking time into this. So Stir's POV, I think it would be the only Stir's POV chapter in the entire book. Now we might open up some other ones, but how much does it stick out like a sore thumb? You just have one chapter from this person's POV, and then never again. And if we go for like the Stir's POV, we're really committing to doing some kind of POV rotation. And then the problem with POV rotation is that you will always have like one character that they're the Sansa chapters, right? And where the reader's like, oh, I don't want to read this fucking thing, but I want to have the whole story. Maybe it's possible not to do that. I'm trying to think of if you think about the context of The Stand, probably who's the Sansa in The Stand? You could have comedic relief chapter for free if you know how to do another one. At this point, we no longer want to inject levity into the narrative. Our budget for funny shit was really spent in the first part of this book. And afterward, we do have to get a little bit into the fact that like this is people making deals with the devil from here and so forth. So just something to think about. I don't really have the answers for this yet. So to show a sense of urgency in pursuit, the chapter was attempting that previously, but definitely didn't do it. And I like this gimmick where they pull off at another obelisk. Yeah, well, let me just before I dismiss that suggestion, I'm trying to think of where another levity chapter could fit in. Because here we need to get these guys into the RAPAXORIS and lost immediately. Like almost immediately after they get in, they become fucking lost. And I think structurally we may change one of the first like trap rooms that they go into. And I believe we will transition to being another book. So RAPAXORIS is split up into 7 or so different books. So I like this suggestion too, to have a sighting around the bends in the canoe, and making it Revel the one to see them. This is just a re-envision the fight on the stone bridge. I've reveled, yeah, we have to pack some there. Re-envision and rename the Oitherkin, make them more diverse and less classical Lucifer type imagery. I'm on board with that. I was reading a short story in called Byzantium the other day, and like there's a lot of buggery in this short story, but it's a young woman has written a young woman. I don't know who it is. It's an excellent story so far, but the author re-envisioned Ifrit as kind of like beings made of pure flame that were unmoored in time and so forth. She had like an interesting perspective there. And as I'm looking into this, I want to like come up with like a similarly interesting perspective for the denizens of the RAPAXORIS, so that they're not just guys with like goat legs and horns and shit like that. And I think it is really lazy of me to envision it the way that I did. The nice thing is that the narrative is already written, where many of the creatures within have a sort of different. They break from that classical mold, and it's really just like when you get into the RAPAXORIS, the first thing that they encounter is going to set the tone. And they all have like some like similar characteristics within them, which is like one that'll come out later is like a lot of them can turn into brass or bronze or something like that. So we'll look into that. And we got to rethink how the showdown happens. This is one where I should probably like break out the fucking stylus and sketch out a more interesting thing. And this is a good spot to set up Fish as kind of like a mini boss, have him defeat all four of the people individually. Um, it's a good spot to just highlight like how ill prepared they are for this journey, because really they're like setting into the RAPAXORIS with like no real food to speak of. Um, like most of their packs, and we should touch on that a little bit as we're working on the whole thing. Oh Lord, yeah, like, this is gonna be a very short stream today because oh yeah, I'm still hurting from last night. I don't know what the fuck was hit me. Hopefully I'm not sick. Um, the spirit and whatever. But let's start poking at the narrative and trying to make some sense of it. All right, and in fact, we can cut almost all of this. So where do I want to get to? 1.11, and then 1.12, where they decide where she needs king, blah, 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 blah. End of book one. Okay, which is Stirs considers abandoning the rest of them, and he opts not to. Okay, cool. So this will be a good starting place to work on right there. And then I definitely need to be in better shape to start working on this re-edit there. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I got done yesterday also. So yesterday I went through and enabled xray in the book. So enabling xray in Xeros consisted of like going through, Amazon scans your book and they find like all the character names. And they mis-ID a ton of character names. They would have things like the word beta. They're like, oh, this is probably a character named Beta. And it was like picking up Li Bai, like one of the, and Du Fu, thinking that they were characters in the book, and they're just the authors of some of those poems. So you have to kind of meticulously go through line by line. And the historical figures, you point to Wikipedia articles and just add like a little description and a link there. As well as like the scientific processes and terms and stuff like that. And then the characters, you have to write like a little bio. I hope I don't have that Roner. It doesn't feel like it. I can still smell, so I'm probably okay. But it's more just, I think I had a migraine yesterday, and today I'm just suffering some of the after effects of self-medicating with juice bomb. But yeah, anything to get out from under that fucking headache. Those are murderous. And it was the last day of the month. If it wasn't the last day of the month and I didn't have to go out this day, I would have just canceled the show. But it wound up being a pretty good one. So I did that. I went onto like a podcast site and just pitched myself to 8 teeny tiny fucking podcasts that nobody listens to. And my goal is to just get better as an interviewee by like working through these, and to like start figuring out how I'm going to talk up this book to all these people, and just I don't have a lot of in my other application I can keep bullshitting indefinitely. You know what I mean? But on somebody else's show where they're controlling the pacing and the narrative, it's going to be difficult for me to restrain some of my, like, this is how you do radio and so forth. Letting somebody else set the pace is going to be kind of difficult there. So I did that. And if you know anybody who has a podcast or wants to do some shit, somebody was recommending one particular author the other day who was like a friend of a friend or whatever. I think I searched for him on Amazon. He's got like huge sales. He had written like 70 fucking novels or something like that. Which you can't write 70 good novels. You know what I mean? As soon as I hear 70 novels, I'm like, oh, I mean, maybe he's a fucking super genius, and there are 70 good novels. I don't know. But he's got some money behind him. So that's going on. I did that. I found that the glossary, the terms were out of order there, so I'm going to have to re-upload the PDF. What else? I did some other stuff. Recently, I submitted a short story to a new magazine that's coming out. Let me see. I set up that interview for the 3rd with the big writer guy. Hopefully that goes okay. The person who schedules AMAs on the Discord server is not there, so She's getting back from vacation on the 2nd, so I need to work on that a little bit in the next couple of days. I fixed my motorcycle, which was fantastic. The issue was that my battery trickle charger was not trickling or charging or whatever. It was fucking up. So I kept charging batteries, and it just would not bring them up to a voltage where the bike would like even register it. And so I had bought a new battery, and it came uncharged, which is anyhow. So that was sorted there. So yeah, made some progress on all of those. All right, so we're gonna cut out. We would absolutely cut this whole fucking thing. In fact, let's cut this entirely. Yeah, none of this is good. Although I do want to save the narrative. I think the blighted forest is a good thing, and the so let's start thinking about how to do this structure. So the structure could be 1. All right, so okay, so we can have them actually not realize that there's a flash flood, and the shit can just come down on top of them, and they can lose everything as a result of this whole thing. Um, the problem in the stuff I'm doing too, shit batteries and shit battery circuits. Yeah, I didn't know that trickle chargers could fucking report. Like, if it had just died, I would have been like, okay, well, I need a new charger. But it was reporting that the battery was charged, and I was just assuming that it was reporting correctly. Like, I don't have. I guess you would use a voltmeter uh, to check what's going on, but I don't like fuck with any voltmeters or multimeters or any of that shit on a regular basis. And I'm not sure would like a multimeter would a fucking motorcycle battery fry that? Like, can it deal with like that level of amps? Because let's take a look at motorcycle batteries. Yeah. So the nice thing is that okay, cool. How to test a motorcycle battery. Uh-huh. All right, so it looks like they use a multimeter. Yeah. Klein auto ranging meters. Yeah, maybe I need a multimeter. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't fry the fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Battery has morphed into a boat anchor. Yeah. You'll probably find that your voltage cranking test, they're rated for tons of volts. Okay, yeah, it's just been, I've never had to like really use a voltmeter or multimeter. I've had to use just like a current detector, which is just like a fucking screwdriver with a light on it. But yeah, I had actually gone through and checked all the fuses on the motorcycle, and they look good to me, which I didn't know how to do that before. Like I'm not, I don't know a lot about mechanically working on motorcycles, but like an electrical system thing like that like makes sense to me. But what? Oh, okay, yeah. Anyhow, Die for IRC was telling me to just get a lithium battery for this thing. Certain about where the probes are plugged in. All right. Yeah, but I mean, this is essentially what I would be doing right there. Huh. How expensive are they? Oh shit. Yeah, this should definitely be in the toolbox. Digital clamp meter. I don't need that. I don't think. Auto ranging. So I've got one that's HVAC. I don't need all that horseshit. Get a good one for $30. When I buy like true clamp meter, I don't know what that's fucking all about right there. Yeah, apparently you can get an over. I'm biased towards Klein shit because I think I used to have a set of Klein side cutters back when I was an electrician's apprentice, and they were good. And like those were just you either like bought those or you bought some Harbor Freight horse shit. I got a clamp meter. It's for testing if a line is hot before fucking with it. Huh. Very interesting. I just find out the hard way, like I do everything else in life. Really and truly. Um, so multiple slots for different measurements. Just be careful with those. Gotcha. Love slot. Logic's like Love X Meta has fucking percolated into every single thing. Um, they pull off. Their canoe is destroyed. At the obelisk, they discover Fish's canoe. Cool. Um, so here we have a good spot where Rigel can take advantage of this fact. So we want to think about how much we want to dirty up Rigel. Because we have, essentially, these characters will eventually all be aligned. So somebody gets dirtied up a little bit here. And I'm going to think about the physical structure for the bridge um, where, let's see. Majage Bane? What the fuck is that? Ridiculous. Fucking autocorrect on this is terrible. Yes, hello, Spaithiwa and Logic right there. Shout outs to both of you. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is kind of like a sequence of events. Holy shit. So you're trying to hit 10 critical plot points within this whole thing. Normally, I don't do any kind of outlining and so forth. This is a new thing for me that I'm going to attempt right here. So now I have like kind of a roadmap for how I want to display this whole thing, and I can think about it a little bit stronger. I don't have the mana to write this morning. In fact, I'm about to rush to the bathroom and hastily evacuate myself. Sorry. But I do think that this will help a little bit there. All right, so everybody have a good Saturday. And just a short little edit, but more of like a brainstorming type thing here. So... And I will work on this a little bit. I may not be here tomorrow because I may be in Amish country where it's illegal to live stream your editing and so forth. But yeah, have a good fucking Saturday. Logic, get some sleep. Spaith Diwa, get some trim. Everybody have a good time. And it was great LRH last night. You can't watch it on YouTube, but I'm uploading it now.